Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine. Welcome to 30 minutes of my day. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that, I know it's Tuesday, but I hope you had a good weekend. We had a lovely weekend up here where I live. The weather was beautiful. We got a lot of yard work. Well, I dare say we finished our yard work. Sadly, but we're quite relieved. Our yards are ready now for winter. I've got to say, we, after our little dog died a few weeks ago, we went out together on a Sunday to one of our little local shops here and bought some bird feeders. We figured we're not ready for any pets right now, but maybe some outdoor pets would do the trick. And I gotta say, we're having such a lovely time. We've got 3 bird feeders set up in our yard. And is it ever a joy to watch all the little creatures? Because not just birds. We got squirrels and chipmunks, and you know what? Some people don't like that. I'm quite all right if the squirrels and chipmunks feel like they've hit the buffet and yeehaw, look at all these seeds. That's fine with me. I gotta say, we're really, really enjoying watching all the little birdies. Anyhow, I have been working a little bit on this little sweetie. And also, where's the other one? On this one. This one I got more work done on it this weekend. And I actually did have a video. Let me clear this off. I did have a video mostly taped, and then it got interrupted, and then I got distracted, and then Saturday was a write-off from about lunchtime on. A happy write-off, but a write-off. Anyhow, so I do have a bit more work done on this. I did finish fortifying the spine. You're not imagining it. That fabric is in upside down on purpose because here's what I'm thinking. The spine is in extremely poor shape, but I wanted to try to be able to save it because it's so pretty. So again, to reassure anyone or to let you know if you haven't already figured it out, I am not a professional book restorer. I'm an artist who makes art out of older books. And yes, I do research to make sure I'm not destroying a rare book. It appears I have to say that every so often so that newcomers don't start panicking. I do check. Please know I do check that I'm not destroying a very rare book. This book was threadbare along these shoulder bends. So my thinking behind it, it's very similar to other books that I have reconstructed. I put the fabric in upside down because it's actually green fabric. Let me see if I can find some left over. Here it is. So I don't have a whole lot of green fabric, but this is sort of green. It's what it is meant to be camouflage so that when this starts wearing away even more and the fabric underlying starts becoming more visible, it's going to be evident that it is, like you can see some of it there peeking through, and that's exactly what I wanted to happen. There's some green fabric with some little flowers on it, and it's actually, it's going to be a pretty little surprise because I suspect in another 100 years, this will be wearing down again, hopefully not as badly. This is a nice strong cotton fabric there, and there will be more when I put the text block in. Another layer of fabric gets glued in. So it's going to be nice and strong. But yes, I put that fabric in upside down for a reason, so that just in case these spines start fraying more, what is unearthed, what is exposed, will be just a green little pretty fabric. So, and it's green and burgundy, and I think that's quite nice. And my plan is it'll look very nice someday. 75 years from now, I'll be pushing up daisies. So, you know what? Good luck to whoever's still around in 75 years to enjoy this book. I have the little owl. I'm so happy with how the little sleepy owl turned out. I inked around his edges, and then I found some. I have a half-used pad of Tim Holtz paper, scrapbook paper that I got at Value Village. And one of the sheets, I thought I was going to use this side because it looks kind of, glowy and old. And I didn't realize until I flipped it over that there was music on the other side. Now, where is it? I ended up cutting the whole thing up because I love it. Oh, here they are. So I was able to find one that I thought was a good fit. And because I thought he needed sort of a backdrop so that he would stand out a bit more. This book is quite dark, and certainly this part of his feathers were quite dark. And I wanted him to be a bit more, just stand out a bit more. And I really like how that turned out. So the hymn that I chose is called Holy Night. And then you can't see down below, but down below was Jolly St. Nicholas. So I love that. And I'm really happy with how that's going to look when I put him on there. Not going to do it yet. This is still going to take quite a bit of pounding. And I still have work to do on it. It's got water damage here. Fortunately, whenever it was that it got wet, it was able to dry thoroughly without mold. And that's huge because once a book gets moldy, there's no saving it. So, or at least in my opinion, there's no saving it. And I have tried because I've found some amazing books, but they were moldy. And I have tried everything. I have researched everywhere. There's just no getting the smell of mold out of an old book. So, although this is a water stain or a fluid stain of some sort, maybe it's tea, we don't know. It was able to dry thoroughly and no mold. So because of that, I am going to probably do some of my distress ink. I play around with distress ink, maybe make it a bit more glowy. I may pull out my my gilding wax that I love, especially since there's gold writing on it. I may very well go to town a little bit with some gilding wax, and I'm also thinking possibly of putting a little bit of lace, maybe along the shoulders. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. And yeah, but I need to, as my wonderful, sweet little father-in-law used to say, I need to process this. He used to say that all the time when my husband would say, Dad, we need to do this and we need to do this. And nope, not right now. I need to process this. So I need to process this. So I'm putting it aside for now. This one I need to start choosing signature papers. I've got a few here, actually. I should put them inside. I've got a little greeting card that I want to make into a little booklet, a la Wishes and Weeds. I love when she does that, so that's my plan for that. I have a little bit of, since there's holly on the front, I found the music for the Holly and the Ivy, so it's going to go in. That's the bottom of it because it was long, so it'll go in a different place. But I'm not in the mood today for that. I'm not in the mood. Ever since I started sorting through to find the paper that scrapbook paper, I started going through more scrapbook paper, and I found these pages of tags. And they just got me to thinking, because I'm not really one to use a pre-made tag like that. But I got to looking at them and I realized that that would make a nice fussy cut. So I've been fussy cutting off of what would be tags, I guess. I guess I don't know a lot about scrapbook kits. I never did scrapbooking. And as I said, the only scrapbook paper I have is whatever I've found at thrift stores or whatever has been wonderfully given to me. So I guess these little tags, I don't know, people must use them in their scrapbooks the way we use them in junk journals. Or maybe they use them on their Christmas gifts. I guess you could, right? So, so I got started this morning. I was catching up on the news and such. And I just thought, you know, I could, actually, that's where I realized I could do this. I was watching Patricia's channel, and she was going through, she did a pink Christmas journal, and it's lovely. I'll put the link to her channel down below. And she was doing a flip through of a pink Christmas journal she did with a digital printout, and it's absolutely beautiful. But I saw that face in her journal, and I thought, I got that. I've got that upstairs. And that's when I realized I had all these tags. And that's when I realized I can fussy cut these tags, because I actually was going to give them to my grandchildren, but now my grandchildren are going to, sorry, they're going to have to do without, because I'm going to fussy cut these and try and make better use of them. Not that there's anything wrong with them already being like a tag, but if you know my style of journal, and you know what, vive la différence. I love that we all have different styles. It's just not my style to use a pre-made journaling tag. If I have journaling tags, I like to have made them. I like to have cut something out, maybe created a cluster. And I know you can still do that with these, but I do get the feeling that these tags, probably the intention is that you just simply stick them, you know, in a pocket or dangle them, you know, put a little thread on them or that. I don't know. I could be wrong. So I like to be careful how I say this, because everyone's art is beautiful and therapeutic. Oh, isn't art wonderful? For that, art has gotten me through quite a lot in my life, being able to just sit and quietly create and express myself. Oh, thank goodness. Now, so I'll show you what I've been doing. Let me get that out of my way. So I would probably just go this way. Now, her little elbow is going to get cut off, so I'm just going to try my best to camouflage that as we do when we fussy cut. And I'm just going to round it a bit. And then, as ever, distress ink will hide a multitude of sins. So the distress ink will make that arm not feel so chopped off. Am I in? I am in. Excellent. There we go. So again, I'm going to try and round this so it's not evident that it had a straight beginning. And then I could use it, you know, I can use it in a cluster. I can put it on another journaling card. Now, if you see here, the top of her cute little hat has been cut off and covered by that green green and white square pattern. So I'm just going to give it a new edge. I'm just going to sort of cut a ruffle so it looks like it's still the top of her hat. And then again, when I'm done here, I'm going to ink it, and hopefully her little hat will look very pretty and attractive, and no one will ever know that her hat got bobbed a little. And it'll just look cute and pretty, and then nothing will get wasted. As is, you know, I really love when nothing gets wasted. So instead of, you know, rehoming this sheet, which I think normally I would not have used it, a pre-printed tag like these. Now I will use it, because look, now I've got a fussy cut. Woohoo! Now this tag, I have already just cut the end off. It was like one of these, so imagine it was sort of like that. I cut the end off, I rounded all 4 corners, and that will make, if I glue it on 2 sides, a terrific little tuck spot. And it just says Merry Christmas in a lovely old font. Here is another bottom of a tag. I guess it was very similar to, you know, this kind. And again, I'll be able to use that in a collage in any one of these journals that I've been working on. So that's what I've been doing. And you know, I gotta say, here's the time for true confessions. Gosh, I am feeling that my room is disorganized, and I'm feeling like I need to tidy it up before I can get any more work done on these little Christmas journals that I do want to work on. So I'm not so sure I'm going to have these 2 little books. Well, they're not little. They're not little. I just feel this urgency, sort of, to tidy up my room. On the other hand, here I am fussy cutting. But for me, fussy cutting is so calming. And I've just been sitting here. I've actually had on my, I can pull up YouTube on my television. I have a tiny little television over there, and I can get YouTube on it. And I have been watching or listening to in the background old Christmas commercials. There are channels on YouTube that have them by the hour. 70s, 80s, 90s, old Christmas commercials. Oh my goodness. Talk about giving you warm, fuzzy feelings. It just really, really makes me feel a happy sentimental, not a sad sentimental. Brings me back to, I'm just trying to see where I'm going to trim this. One Christmas, our little girls, our twin girls, they got a hold of the Canadian Tire Christmas toy catalog. Canadian Tire is usually a hardware store. It is a hardware store up here in Canada. Started off as a tire store, became a hardware store. And but at Christmas time, and it's still a good hardware store, don't get me wrong. I was just at Canadian Tire last week. But it is now more than just hardware. I mean, I got paper towels, I got paste wax, you know, that sort of thing. Anyhow, at Christmas, and they still do this, they have quite a toy department. And one year they put out a toy flyer, and our little girls were just entranced by it. And they would lay on the floor in the living room with the Canadian Tire Christmas flyer And just look at all the toys. And that was just the magic of Christmas, eh? Their imaginations going, what they wanted so badly. And they wanted a play and tote backpack. That was all they wanted for Christmas, was a Cabbage Patch doll and a play and tote backpack. Fortunately, Santa came through. And the play and tote backpack, it was a little pink backpack that had everything you needed to for dolly care. So, little plastic spoon, little plastic bowl, little plastic bottle, that sort of thing in the play and tote backpack, or pack as they used to call it. So I keep hoping I'm even going to see one of those commercials sooner or later when I watch these videos of the 70s and 80s and 90s commercials. Certainly the 70s commercials. Oh my goodness, I was a teenager in the 70s. So a lot of those commercials, yeah, they're personal. And I think of, what used to be the in thing to want for commercials for Christmas. The chia, all that sort of stuff, or clap on, clap off, a clapper. Oh, I loved all those things. Okay, so there we go. Let's see. Oh, I should have put the lid on that. Oh, well, we'll use you. Again, thank goodness for just Distress ink. It really does give a finished look, even to something that has had the edges cut or chopped. And then it doesn't look quite so cut out. Look at that little child with a Christmas tree to take home. I love it. So that's what I've been doing this morning. I've been sitting here fussy cutting mindlessly, looking around at the mess that is overwhelming me in here. I guess I could turn my camera, take it off the stand and show you, but no, trust me, just trust me. It's quite hectic in here, and it's interfering with my, the chaos is interfering with my creativity. Some people are very creative in chaos, and I am not, at least not anymore. I really like things neat and tidy, everything, a place for everything and everything in its place. That's me now. So I know sooner or later I need to put these scissors down and get to work and tidy this room up so that I can start creating some little pretty Christmas journals, Christmassy journals. I will. I know I will. But for now, I think my brain needs some Christmassy downtime. It has been a stressful past few months with COVID and everything. So it is nice to just do something that doesn't require too much concentration. So I'm going to go up there like that. There we go. Look at that. She looks lovely. Let's finish those edges. Now, obviously, I don't know a lot about digital prints. But the digital print of this girl that I saw in Patricia's video, it was sort of in pink shades because, as I said, this was a pink themed Christmas journal, and gosh, she did a lovely job on it. And I can see where creating digital kits really is quite a skill, and you got to have quite an eye for placement and shading, and of course quite a knowledge of computers, and that's where I'd fail at that too. I'm very functional on my computer, but I am not. I still need my young people to help me out of situations with my computer and with my phone. Thank goodness I have many young people that I can call and go, help, help, what have I done? Gosh, I don't even have a color ink cartridge in my printer. I have a black one, that's it. That's all I ever need. It lasts me probably about a year because all I use it for is to print postage labels for when I ship journals. Now, I do have something else I need to do today. How am I for time? Oh gosh, I'm at 26 minutes. Maybe I'll put this down and show you what I'm going to do today. So I went through my bags of Christmas wrap because I was looking for some more really vintagey looking paper to be end papers in a book. I do have a wonderful, wonderful stash of, hold on, across the room. I have a wonderful stash of Christmas paper, scrapbook paper now. Thank you to the generous people who mailed them to me. But some of them are quite modern, and I will use them. Like that pattern to me is very modern. Now this pattern I think looks a little bit older, especially I coffee dyed it, and now when I cut it, I'm going to ink around the edges and age it a bit more. This one looks a little bit older. But I thought, you know what, some vintage wrapping paper, like that's really pretty. What did I pay for it? I got this at my thrift store. 59 cents. I don't know how much is on this roll, but if there's enough, what I want to do is I'm going to glue it down onto just a light cardstock so that will be usable as well. I like this one. This is quite vintagey because it's got pomegranates and it's got fruit and berries, but it's definitely Christmas. There's holly here. I just like it. It's a little bit different. It's got those wintry fruits and some wintry greenery. And then this one is a little bit newer. It's not vintage, but it does look old. Let's open it up. So, and I like the coloring of this one. There's some golds in it. Oh, sorry. Sent you flying. There's some golds in it. Here, I'll open it up. And I like that. And it's got sort of some cracks. Let me lift it up so you can see it. Sort of has a crackle look. Anyhow, so I think I also may, I'm going to adhere some of this to some cardstock, light cardstock, so that I can, oh, I thought I had the cardstock out. Oh, I left it across the room. Oh, well. So that I just have it ready to go for, whatever book it happens to end up in as end papers. That's my plan. And of course, I always love polka dots. I love polka dots. So I'm going to affix some of this and have it ready to go in case I need polka dots. I love this because I don't know if it's picking it up, but those dots aren't white. They're creamy colored. So yes. All right, you know what? That's it. I have blathered on long enough. Pretty well got nothing done, which is, I need a t-shirt that says that so I can slug around this house with my t-shirt that says I have pretty well got nothing done. But I don't know, I think sometimes getting nothing done is restorative to the soul, don't you think? I think it is for me anyways. Well, my timer is going to go off in 15 seconds. So I'm going to cut it off here. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're safe and healthy. Gosh, I hope your weather is as nice wherever you are as what. Yes, I'm trying to say goodbye. I hope you're having nice weather too. Oh, I talked to my mom today. She's doing great. She's doing great. She was dressed in hot pink from head to toe, and it was wonderful. She made my day. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Bye.